Moving down to Southland, from saltwater to freshwater attractions. Yep, this is it. Gore, the capital of brown trout fishing. Capital of country music. Hang on, I thought Gore was the capital of brown trout fishing. Now this is confusing. Gore also seems to be the Romney capital of the world. I think Gore's having an identity crisis. And this definitely wins the battle. The statue in Gore that really jumps up and grabs attention is this wily old brown trout, aristocrat of the trout family. It helps to hook thousands of visitors a year who come to fish in the Mataura River.
It was my idea. At the time, Gore was going through a very, very bad period economically with 39 businesses closed and people were walking off the land. So we had to look for something that was positive, that would give the area identification and something that the people could latch onto.
So it's a replica of the original fish caught in the river?
Yes, that's right, and we photographed it straight out of the river so that it had the right colourings, and Earl built the scale model of it, and then we blew it up to 20 times the size, which is an exact replica of it. Earl is probably one of the best design artists in the country.
The pupil of a fish is never in the centre of the eye. If it goes to the centre of the eye, the fish is known to be dead. So that is why that the pupil, the black part of the portion of the eye, is off-centred to give it something to look at. It is eyeing up something.
Well, there were a lot of doubters out there, but and then once the trout was put up, it turned very positive. And there has been just literally thousands of people come here and taken photographs of the trout.
But faith in the trout has wavered from time to time, as this news item shows.
The whole town turns out to watch a flock of sheep being piped down the main street. Why is this so? Well, in the same way that Tuatapere is the sausage capital of New Zealand, Gore has always been the capital of brown trout fishing. But now that the South Canterbury town of Rakaia has got the big salmon, Gore has decided to have the big Romney ram. This monument to the Romney was unveiled to an adoring crowd.
We've tried the Swiss Bank of the South Pacific. It hasn't worked. Now we're back to the basics of doing what we do best as New Zealanders, and that's farming. And when you talk about farming, you talk about sheep.
Our fish is the original one in New Zealand. There's no doubt about that, and all the others are copycat situations. They've seen how successful this has been, so they've followed our thing. But they didn't do it as good because they didn't get Earl to build it.
A big thing that we are looking at promoting now is the Hokanui Moonshine Museum, which is going to depict the illicit distilling of Hokanui whisky from the 1870s through to about the 1930s. And we're going to build a museum and a distillery and just depict what life was like and how it was all done, because that's a very colourful part of the Southland heritage, and particularly the Gore heritage.
What is this thing, Earl?
Well, it's actually a whisky still, one I made up myself. And use it for experimental purposes.
And what is that? What are the different, I mean, where'd this come from?
Well, this is actually the condenser. As you can see, the coil in there, it's cooled by this water system here. Unique water system, and
yeah, unique water system,
yeah.
What I would call a hose.
Yeah.
What's the function of this pipe here in the middle of the copper coils?
It actually fell in there one day.
Yeah.
And I just can't get it out.
And what about this? Where did this thing come from?
Well, that you shouldn't ask me that, but it was originally a 1914 dunny tin. It was found under the under the trees in one of the old still sites, and it's even got a couple of handles to carry it.
What's the original Hokanui name? Where does that come from?
Hokanui means sharp peaks, and it's the sharp peaks of the Hokanui Hills that the name refers to, and that's where they made it, up in the peat streams. Gore's got its trout now. That's beautiful, and people photograph it, but they move on. It doesn't bring in any revenue. We've got our ram, we've got our country music, and it's some of the best in the country. But it's got its problems, and the problems are that we really haven't got anything to attract the tourist. And this venture will really do something for that.
No longer is local government just about roads, streets and bridges and good footpaths. It's about selling your identity to the rest of the country so people will come and see. They may even come here, they may live.
What I look at is what other small towns are doing and how they're promoting themselves, and I look to see what we can adapt. I'm a great believer in not reinventing the wheel, so I like to just see what ideas we can pick up and adapt to suit our community.
We're then promoting our festivities such as the gold guitars, promoting our other assets such as the brown trout river, the Matau River, and our legend, which is due to be released shortly, the Moonshine Legend, which we hope will be a state-of-the-art, high-tech museum showing the legend right from the early days in the bush right through to enjoying it today.